Okay, so how to replace a motherboard on your Acer Vero. I've already removed all the screws from the panel with this screwdriver. Links are in the description down below, and the pry tool to loosen the panel. If you're not sure how to do these ahead of time, then you can look up a disassembly video or look at your computer's manual. But let's focus on the motherboard removal process. Okay, so first thing you do is we have to detach the power from the motherboard. This is the most important and essential activity. I'm going to grab the two little tabs, I'll zoom in here, from the side, and I'm going to pull back, being careful not to handle the motherboard too much, just like so. Because you don't want any power, because you don't want to make a connection that's not there and perhaps short out your motherboard. I'm taking out the battery, and now I'm going to immediately go ahead and start unplugging all the plugs. That particular battery did not have any screws in it, so it just pulls right off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unplug it, and I'm going to pull this little flap up, pull it down on the ribbon cable, and I'm just going to keep going like this, pulling up the little flaps and pulling out the ribbon cable. Be careful with those little flaps on those connections because they can be rather fragile. And I'm going to keep going like this. These large ribbon cables sometimes are kind of taped down, so be aware of that. Like this one, I'm going to grab it from underneath and pull. There we go. And I'm going to keep going here. Unplugging it. Now this particular kind of port, I'm going to show you here, right here, it opens unlike this one from the back. These I find break a little bit easier, so be especially careful. So go ahead, pull it up, and then I'm going to pull the ribbon cable out, and then we will see the solid state drive that's underneath. Now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to detach this. Okay, so I'm going to take this screw off of this solid state drive, like so. And as you notice, everything I handle from the edges because it's really what's recommended, because you don't want to handle components too much. That's how you short things out. That's how the oils on your fingers can cause problems for the components. They really need to be dry and handled a certain way. Okay, so next, I'm removing the screws from the heatsink. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the heatsink is it bends so incredibly easily, so we're going to be careful how we take it off, because once you bend it or have a kink in it, it won't cool the computer as well as it did before. So we're going to be really careful with this when we pull it off, because sometimes it can get stuck with the thermal paste and kind of cause some problems. All right, next thing I'm going to do though before that is I'm going to take the fan off, because sometimes they're a unit that's taped together, so I just find it easier to take them off, at the same time. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out this cable. Let me give you a better shot here. So let's pull this cable out. Once again, we're going to grab the tabs on the side. Do not grab the cords. You pull just the cords out, then you often will break the plug, my friends. So let's not do that. All right. Just like that, and now we're going to go back to our motherboard. We're going to pull off that heatsink carefully. If there's any sort of resistance, we're going to wiggle and shake it loose. We're not going to just yank on it and cause it to bend. As you can see, it came off nice and easy, so that was not an issue. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to finish taking off some ribbon cables, and this is what the heatsink look like. All right, now let's get to it. Same thing, more cables we're going to pull off. Those are your Wi-Fi antennae, so now those are off. And now I'm going to once again pull up that back flap, being careful not to break it, because I find them to be the most fragile. I'm going to grab the tab. This one's a little glued on, so I'm going to have to kind of get it a little loose. There we go. All right, let's keep going. Let's undo this LCD cable, being careful not to bend it. If you break them at all, they're very unforgiving. So just like that, I'm going to do it again so you can get a better shot here. There you go. And now we're going to finish removing the screws. So, and once again, the screwdriver, not sure if I mentioned this, that I'm using this particular video is in the description down below. So is the pry tool. So if you need an exact one, I put a set there that this screw comes in, and it works really well for computer repair. All right, now we're working on the hinge to the screen. Now I'm going to show you a really easy way to get this up. A lot of people just try pulling on it. It doesn't work very well. I'm just going to back the computer up, open it, voila, comes up like that. So that's the way easier way to do this. And then there's one last screw, and then we are good to go. And also, if you find this video in any way helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more great videos, guys. All right, here we go. It's free, just like that. Anyway, from one egghead to another egghead, this is Liz signing out.